Welcome back, everybody, to the ADMW2. I'm Puddnhead, and I have with me Zot.
Hey.
And we are watching this game between DevilsVendetta and Enti, which I will not try and pronounce his octagon handle. And they're just running right into it here.
Didn't take them long, did it? So we have Enti running the, looks like the Sorceress, and the Devils running the Forcemaster.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody bringing out forges.
Yep. Look at that. Forge and Wisp Willow. Interesting. He plays a forge and then he plays an equipment?
Yeah, that's weird.
Double forge.
Double forge. Isn't that interesting? Well, that could potentially suck. Interesting, like you said, the Wisp Willow being cast, so he must have something specific he wants to do with his mana.
Yeah, I don't know. Either that or he's just planning to replace it with another one when he runs low.
Yep, that's another way to do it off the forge.
So,
a sorceress with a double forge.
Yeah, I have not seen an Adramelech Warlock with a double forge before.
The one in the lower left could be deploying an Eye of Baal. Well, no, it won't with the Wisp Willow out, so that's good. He prevented that.
Yeah, that's true. You can't deploy an Eye of Baal on him right now.
No.
So that's good.
Yeah, it is good.
It looks like they're rolling dice to generate the rolls.
I think that's a good policy when you first start the game. Each of you just do a simple die roll just to get the array built.
And, wow. So, double forge. How is he going to have the mana to sustain this, I wonder?
If you're doing melee attacks, then theoretically, the mana that you're saving while you're attacking could be used for spawning things out of the forge. I would expect two small items here, possibly a ring of fire, maybe demon mask, so that you get piercing.
Yeah. Or even some leather, maybe.
Some leather, yeah. The little 2-drops would be it. Since he's range 3 right now, or she's range 3. So yeah, I would expect a small casting cost things so they can bank some mana for some either enemy enchantments or enchantments on himself.
All right. Those are some aggressive forge placements.
They are. Which is an indication the sorceress wants to bring the battle to the Forcemaster in some way.
I guess so. I wouldn't want to tangle with a Forcemaster in the same zone, you know?
No, generally not. Yep, there's the fire ring. The other one is, pair of rings. Interesting.
Okay, and we see an Enchanter's ring from the Forcemaster.
Yeah. Is that an Enchanter's ring?
Yeah, it's an Enchanter's ring.
That's interesting.
Yeah, every time a discount ring comes out, I'm just like, all right, we need to figure out how many times that's actually used to see if it was really a good play or not.
Well, I guarantee the fire ring will be used.
Yeah, probably throws a lot of fire. Curse ring is, we'll see how often curses come out here.
Well, there's an enchantment for the Enchanter's ring.
That's true.
I would expect the same out of the sorceress. Here comes an enchantment.
Is it a curse, maybe? Oh, yeah, it is a curse.
Yeah.
All right.
And there it goes.
There's the Mage Bane.
Agony or what? What is that?
Mage Bane.
Mage Bane, even better. Yep.
Yeah, and so that's a discount used for both rings this round, so that's good. To get them out just in time. And another enchantment on the Adramelech Warlock. And what do we got here? Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow. This is going to be so crazy. Oh, no.
I can't.
Because these forges are fire immune, that's going to be hard for the sorceress to get rid of them.
Sorceress doesn't care.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
you got the Dark School. You got so many curses. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I would. Is there enough equipment for a Forcemaster to need 2 forges?
No, not really.
At like 2 forges and an enchanter's ring? So is he planning to enchant every round, double equip every round, and hit something every round?
Yeah, that would be a one way to do it. The interesting. The I don't know the heavy curse warlocks with the advent of remove curse seems to have taken a hit, in my opinion.
I don't know. Remove curse costs a full action, and most people are playing more than one spellbook point for it. So
Right.
if you've got Mage Bane pays for itself instantly, right? And even if Ghoul Rod only gets 2 damage off, you still made them spend 8 mana,
Right.
to get rid of it, and a full action if it's a remove curse. Like, I think you just come out ahead with that. The things I would worry about the most are, if you get multiple hits with a remove curse with one cast of remove curse or purge magic or something. I think that's what hurts curse books.
Exactly. When you're not going to use a remove curse to get rid of one curse.
You might.
Well, only if you're desperate.
Yeah. Or you have a lot of remove curse.
Exactly, that too. But all right, so I'm going to guess that we're going to see cheap deployments all around out of these forges, or possibly even one of them deploy nothing, and just build up mana for a round.
That's true. They've got 4 spells prepared each. Wow.
Yep. So we're going to see pants out of for each mage coming out, more than likely, or for the Forcemaster might save the slot for the leggings, the illusionary leggings. So It'll have a different leather piece coming out probably.
I don't know if the leggings are really necessary in this juncture.
Right. Well, it depends on if he's got both in the book or not.
That's true. Yeah, leather gloves would be fine. Leather boots would be fine.
Right.
Forcemaster.
Sure.
There's the pants.
Yep. Yep. Oh, that's a good one there. The Moloch's amulet.
So now, not only is he taking Mage Bane every turn, but he's going to get another ding every turn.
Yep. Is that Gauntlets of Strength?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So that's what he saved his glove spot for. We'll see what else comes out here.
Yep. Oh, Galvatar. Going to take the fight to him right away.
Yeah, that might be a little early for Galvatar.
Might be, but maybe he's wanting to go after one of these forges or to start wailing on the sorceress.
He's still 2 zones away.
Yeah, but that could be a cheetah speed.
Not his initiative.
I mean, it still could be a cheetah speed.
It's true. Could be a cheetah speed.
And how much mana does Devil have left?
9 each.
Okay, so the Wisp Willow not being deployed off of the forge.
He would have 10.
Yeah.
But he'd also be out his Enchanter's Ring.
Right.
So it's kind of a wash.
Right.
He'd only have 7 if he'd cast a Mana Flower.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes another curse.
Yep. So is that going to be a damage curse? That's probably a Chains of Agony. As the sorceress moves away and anticipating drawing him near. Uh-oh. Ouch. Okay. So the sorceress is just going to do heavy damage over time.
Yeah, it looks like that's the strategy here.
All right.
I don't know, if I were Devil and I had Purge or remove Curse, I'd try and save up some mana.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So seeing that's not a Chains of Agony.
No. I mean, there's that whole deal where you can reveal it after channeling, so it could be anything.
Right.
There's a telekinetic bomb on the Adramelech Warlock right now.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's good to stagger the Adramelech Warlock, I think, get 2 fewer dice when the fireballs hit.
Mm-hmm. Or the flame blast in this case, since it's unavoidable.
Yep. Yep. Uh-oh. Looks like Devil made a mistake here. I don't know what it was. Saying he can't read or something. Alright, that's an early Enchanter's Wardstone too, so I wonder if he was worried that something was going to get dispelled right away.
Right. I remember thinking when Kumanjaro came out and the Wardstone showed up, I was like, the Warlocks did not need this card in print.
Yeah.
Now,
seen another enchantment here.
Wow, this is going to be a crazy match with 4 forges on the board. I can honestly say I've never seen 4 forges on the board at the same time.
I don't think I have either. What do you think of Double Forge? It's a 16 mana investment. Is it worth it in actions and the stuff you can put on?
You have to design your book very tightly to use them effectively, in my opinion. And at some point, they're just going to sit there and build up mana, and you're going to use them to swap certain things in and out of your book. So, for instance, let's say you have a chess piece on and you get a bunch of corrodes. You could deploy off a chess piece and save an action and drop some corrodes potentially.
Yeah. I mean, you'd have to have like 4 or 5 corrodes at that point.
3.
Well, if you're going to have Double Forge, you're going to be putting leather on, right?
Potentially, yeah. Well, I'm just saying, it's just one thing. You have to design your book around Double Forge, especially if you're going to cast them both at the beginning of the game.
Right. Looks like we see a Ghoul Rat go down after channeling, so we've got 2 extra damage on that Forcemaster. And the Adramelech Warlock, yeah, she spent the mana to do an extra point of damage.
Yep. That damage can add up fast, even if it's just a point here or there. Every time you turn around, you're taking a point.
Yep. It's really dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I might move forward with the Forcemaster and Forcehammer that Wardstone.
Yep.
It might be worth it.
Double move and save one of your actions for Mage Bane damage by not casting.
I don't know if you want to double move. You want to stay in range of one of your forges.
Oh, well, that's true. Well,
You could double move to the Adramelech Warlock zone.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or you could move and guard. Or you could move and hit that forge with your Galvatar and then Forcehammer the Wardstone.
Yeah. Forges are evil.
And at this point, I don't know if it's worth killing a forge, because if you're going to kill one, you might as well kill both, and then you've wasted a bunch of actions. So,
yeah. But then again, your opponents put both of them in there for a reason.
I guess. I just can't. I mean, most of the time, you only have like 5-6 pieces of equipment anyway, right?
Yeah, it's not very many most of the time. But like I said, these folks have decided that they want 2 of them in there, and they want them out early.
Yeah.
If nothing else, this will be interesting.
Hopefully. I'm a little worried that Devil's just going to succumb to a whole bunch of curse damage and not deal with it soon enough, you know?
Right.
I hope that's a nullify he put on. Because what you don't want right now is a poison blood.
Right. So his first enchantment for the Forcemaster, I wonder what that would be.
I would assume brace yourself or bear strength.
Yeah, I would guess something like that.
Or maybe, I mean, redistributed power if he's planning to use the Cobra or something.
Yeah. I'm going to guess offense because he deployed the Galvatar fast.
Yeah, and then Enti wisely ran away.
Right. This can't be force pulled with the lure.
Yep.
But right now, the Forcemaster could looks like does have initiative, so can quick cast a lure and then go in and whack.
Yep. I think that's what I would do in this situation.
The lure still would generate Mage Bane damage because it counts as a spell.
Yep. Although, I mean, it might be better to just play defensive right now. You know, get some regrowth on, get some
Yep, there you go.
get some armor on, you know, and then kill that wardstone.
Right.
Let
So there's
the warlock run away.
The regen belt is the anti-ghoul rot.
Yep, that takes care of that. Now he needs to not get poison blooded, or else this doesn't work.
Right.
Which I imagine if Ghoul Rot and Magebane are on, you're gonna poison blood next.
Maybe.
Poison blood or enfeeble.
Right.
That's what I would do at this point.
Or agony.
Yeah, agony would work. Although I think he's planning to stay far enough. Oh, dancing scimitar. Okay.
That's going to be problematic for getting rid of hostile enchantments with a wardstone out because of the fact that that has an upkeep.
Yep. Yep. So he's basically down to 10 channeling now.
Yeah, that scimitar is going to be a potentially too early.
You know, I think early on, if I see a Warlock across the field, I might just put a Dispel Spore out early game.
Hmm.
You know, like if he would stay in the corner, cast his Forge, and cast a Thought Spore with Dispel on it, then the Forge can cast the Wisp Willow, you can cast the other Forge and the Enchanter's Ring or whatever. And that sets you up to be able to counter whatever is going on.
Mm-hmm. There's
all
the
right. So he's force pulling him to the left. I like force pull.
Mm-hmm.
As anybody who has ever talked to me knows.
Mm-hmm. And let's see what we're going to have revealed here. Yep.
I would imagine a Bear Strength or Lion Savagery here, probably.
Yep. I'm going to go Bear Strength.
He's asking if there's a reveal. I don't think he has enough for... he doesn't have enough for Enfeeble, but he could have revealed Chains of Agony.
Right. Well, don't forget, it does have the reveal for the Curse Ring. So I think the reveal on Enfeeble is 4, though, right?
Yeah. All right, and the solo attack from Galvatar will ignore both armor with Piercing 2.
Mm-hmm.
We got 5 damage. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. And then the Scimitar can have at it, too.
Yeah, I would expect 1 damage from the Scimitar, probably.
Mm-hmm.
But damage is damage.
Yep.
Here comes the Scimitar. Oh, wow. He did 5 damage with that Scimitar.
Wow. And that at the beginning of next round, it looks like, or at the end of this round, 10 damage on the Sorceress and 7 on the Forcemaster, so they're kind of even on damage dealt.
Yep. Staying even. So Enti needs to stay away, and Devil needs to not get destroyed by curses.
And the act of attacking helps save mana.
That's true. That is true. Hopefully we'll see some kind of Dispel come out. I mean, you could even put a wand on your Forge and get a Dispel wand out, you know?
Yep.
Alright, looks like Poison Blood does get revealed.
Yep.
And there is a 4th curse.
Yep.
On... Well, I assume it's a curse on Devil there.
Sure.
We didn't get it to see anything get revealed there. There was no bear strength, no lion savagery,
Nope.
no wolf fury, nothing.
It could be because the sorcerer still has a hidden enchantment on it that decided that maybe reveal at another point.
In my experience, that's usually Hawkeye or brace yourself, so I wouldn't have worried about it.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah. Enti deployed something, right?
Boots, I think.
Both of his forges have 2 mana.
That's weird. Pretty sure deployed boots. Might have been last round though, but I thought it was this round.
I think it was this round. Maybe they sorted out. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Telekinetic bomb gets discarded, but yeah.
How much does
he brings it back? 4 dice with a stagger chance.
Yeah, I didn't see how much it did. Okay.
No, it doesn't actually go off. You have to remember to do it.
Ah, gotcha.
All right, he gets 2 more damage out and a stagger.
There you go.
There's a lot of blanks though.
Mm-hmm.
An average amount of damage considering the 2 armor now. So.
Excuse me. The that fire ring out there. At some point, we're going to start seeing some fire attacks happening.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that we don't see Flame Blast hitting the Forcemaster right now.
I think it was just a quick, cheap deploy early on, so it's already out there later on.
Right.
And decided to focus on just dropping tons of enchantments.
Yeah, it does seem like Devil is not dealing with those. So.
Right.
But I mean, you're still getting 6 dice off of 1 Flame Blast.
Right.
With the burn chances, you know.
Doesn't it get more if there's a
Flame Blast? Yeah, Flame Blast is 4 by itself, right?
Yeah.
And then Fire Shaper Ring gives it 5, and then the Curse gives it 6.
And does it give Flame +1, so you get +1 on the effect die too, right?
Yep, that's true. So you can get those burns out there. That's more damage over time. More things to deal with. And
yeah, things like that are helpful versus a Forcemaster because they don't get to roll defenses against direct damage.
That's right. And either force them to reveal the force field early, or
well, the force field doesn't help. I guess versus a Flame Blast it would.
Yep, it blocks the Flame Blast.
Right.
But then the force field is out, and you can deal with it.
That's a 10 mana reveal with a 2 upkeep.
Yep, and that's less mana to deal with your curses.
Yep. It looks like they're rooting through the
That's
chat.
me.
Oh, it's you? Okay.
Yeah, just making sure that they did the forge thing right, I think. For Devil at this point, I think I would still try and get rid of that and Wordstone.
Right.
Get rid of that Wordstone and then purge yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess you could remove Curse, but I mean, purge would be a lot more efficient.
Sure.
Yeah, you get rid of 2 of your own, but
it presumes that you have purge in your book.
yeah, it's true. I have learned the value of purge. I think you were the first one to open my eyes to purge's usefulness.
I vaguely remember this story that you told me.
And you had it in your Anvil Throne Warlord book, and I was like, what?
He was like, I remember the first time I played against you, and I went, oh, what'd I do?
You purged all my crap so I couldn't hit you through your boots.
It's like, yep, nobody expects a purge out of a warlord.
It's true. Nobody expects it.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember what mage you were playing against me, but you loaded me up.
No, you debuffed me. I was
Oh,
playing.
that's
I was playing a fully buffed Forcemaster.
there you go.
So I had a whole bunch of enchantments on me, and you were just like, "Nope."
You thought you could get away with that crap versus a warlord, didn't you?
I don't even think Purge Magic was on my radar at that point
Ah,
at all, because I'd never
sure.
seen anybody use it. But now, man,
It's pretty effective.
now I'm just like, how do I make sure that I have enough points for this?
Yeah, it's a little rough to fit in a book. For the war school, it's really rough. But 6 points for out of school arcane it can be challenging to fit it in, depending on what you're trying to accomplish with your build
It's
for
true.
any other age.
Yeah, it's true.
It's got a pretty hefty opportunity cost. So, did they figure out the mana issue?
I think so. I think he took it off the bottom forge there,
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
and yeah,
So now we're what, round 5 or so, and they're down to only deploying one spell off of these forges.
yeah, yeah. And this is why I just don't understand double forge.
Yeah, I'm not so sure either, but I know some people really like the double forge strategy, and they've tuned their play to take serious advantage of it. So I'm going to guess that they're going to get the usefulness out of them. Just a question of over time, So one they'll deploy off of this one while the other one builds up, then they'll deploy off the other one, and slowly save some mana that way.
I guess. But I mean, we see 6 equipment on one side and 5 on the other. So yeah, I don't know.
Very interesting. It's a one way of gearing up really fast.
I just use gear up.
Yeah, it works for the war school.
Yeah, works for warlords.
Yep. Yeah, we designed gear up specifically to be warlord only, so that other people could not abuse it.
Yeah, you don't want to empower tank wizards anymore.
Right, and we also made it epic so you couldn't wand it.
Yep. Yep, that's important. It's important.
Yeah, because we just saw that one as problematic. I think we ended up with a pretty sweet card in the end. Well balanced. People really like it, but yet it's not broken.
Yep. Yep. I tell you what, this curse play is looking really top notch here.
It is.
I'm not sure what Devil can do about this. He's got to deal with it. And it's interesting to note that one Enchanter's Wardstone causes this much trouble.
Well, it only causes trouble if you are attempting to destroy them. If you're not bothering with destroying them, then they don't cause you any grief other than damage.
Well, but the thing is, the way to beat curses is to destroy them.
I preaching at the choir.
So I mean, the Wardstone is just so good in curse books.
It
And
is.
I think it's actually making Devil feel like it's not worth it to destroy enchantments.
Oh, it's definitely worth it. Yeah.
And I think we're seeing that like this is what 4 or 5 damage around here, and no healing right now,
Right.
because of the Moloch's torment,
That's right.
and you just can't survive for very long like that.
No, you cannot.
Throw a fireball or a flame blast in there, and all of a sudden you can survive a whole lot less long.
That's right.
We got more armor coming out for Enti here.
Yep. So now he's got 2 effective armor versus the piercing 2 Galvatar.
Yep, and if he wanted to telekinetic bomb him at all or anything, it would have 4 armor against it.
The armor for the Forcemaster is a good play. However, These enchantments ignore all that.
Yeah, and burning ignores that. So, I mean, he could just pull out an ignite wand or something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I don't know if Devil's going to go over and destroy the Wardstone or not. It really depends on what is in the book for enchantment destruction.
all right, he's putting an enchantment on himself. I don't know what he needs here, because Enti's going to run away. Clearly, Enti's going to run away.
Yeah, because one of those two hidden ones is an enfeeble or a chains of agony, more than likely.
Probably. I mean, this is how you run away. And I think that Enti would not be having such a lark at this if there were some other creatures on the board. Since he's only got the enemy mage to deal with, the curse game is going to be really strong.
And there goes the runaway. That was a double move, even.
Sure was. He's just like, okay, I need to save some mana. He only had 3 mana for after revealing the, or after getting the armor on.
Right.
So, yep.
Yeah, and he's playing really strong here in how to get so many curses down. But see, that's a dangerous game because, you know, Wardstone aside, somebody gets rid of all your enchantments, then you've put a lot of effort into enchanting someone only to turn around and have them all go away.
Yep, it's dangerous. I agree. But that Wardstone is making it so that he's not even bothering. I would have spent 9 mana on trying to kill that this turn. Because you know he's going to run away. Because you're dangerous. Spend your 9 mana, kill the Wardstone, and then next turn...
Or just run over there, save the mana, run over there and beat it up.
That's true.
And then save the mana. And if the sorceress runs away, get rid of the enchantments, and then try to recoup some of the damage in some way, and then go re-engage.
Yeah. I mean, if she comes close, then you can pull her in and hit her.
Right.
If she runs away, you can bolster yourself with more creatures or some healing spells or something.
So and you got your regen belt out already, so getting rid of the poison blood, you'll at least recover that too.
Yeah, I mean, poison blood, ghoul rot would be the first 2 things I'd get rid of. Because the other stuff is mitigatable.
Right.
All right, he's going to pull him over. I disagree with this. I mean, as much as I love force pull, I just don't think pulling right now is a good plan because you can't get that hit in.
Right. But he has initiative next, so...
He does, but, I mean, there's a quick cast before he can do something.
Yeah, Lesser Teleport pulls you away.
Yeah, Lesser Teleport, a wall, like, or you know, even a brace yourself would mitigate a bunch of damage, or a vet belt.
See, the thing is, what you have now is a situation where all the sorceress has to do is run away the rest of the game, and all other things being equal, the Forcemaster loses.
Yeah, he needs a teleport or a cheetah speed or something
in order to keep the pressure on.
Yeah, and I don't think it's worth it at this point. There's 4 armor on that Warlock.
So what we have now, hold on, we got 12 damage on the Forcemaster, it looks like, and 10 damage on the Sorceress.
Right.
And admittedly, that second hit from the Dancing Scimitar was a little above average, so you can't expect that every round, especially after deploying the Hauberk. So you're right. So a damage race, the Forcemaster loses more than likely.
Yep. Without some ridiculously lucky rolls.
Agreed.
So you got to mitigate at this point, which is why I think you should have stayed there, killed the Enchantress Wardstone, or put a cheetah speed on and then gone to kill the Enchantress Wardstone.
Exactly.
and then
And then
purge.
cry serious big tears when across the board another wardstone drops on the board.
I doubt Enti's the kind that would bring 2 ward stones.
Brought 2 forges, why not 2 wardstones? I'm kidding, of course, but still.
I mean, I've known some people.
I mean, because right now the strategy looks that this sorceress is focused almost exclusively on damage enchantments.
Right. And the Forcemaster is approaching half health here. So we are looking at some serious trouble in the fireball department, or the flame blast department.
Well, heck, you drop a surging wave on the Forcemaster, get the slam in, and then you fireball them.
Yep, that would work.
Yep.
I mean, unless one of those is a force orb or something,
True,
or a galvanize.
But then again, you're still deploying off the forges with 8 mana for the sorceress, so that's not going to be the case.
Yeah, and Flame Blast is cheap enough. It's fine. You could get an elemental wand for 2 mana right now.
Right.
And then
that's part of the reason why they want the double forge, is they can deploy off one, this cheap stuff, and then let another one build up and get something free later.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's a significantly longer game strategy.
Well, it enables a long game strategy if, for instance, the Forcemaster recovers here. And the same thing with the Forcemaster. I'm going to be using all my mana to get rid of these stupid curses. My forges build up, and I move over and put something on for free.
Sure. Looks like both forges are going to be active for the Forcemaster right now.
I'm going to guess one of them is how many dissipates are left on the Wisp Willow?
1.
So one of them's a Wisp Willow for the Forcemaster, more likely.
Probably the lower left.
Yep. And then maybe another armor drop, small armor drop.
See, I think if it were me, I would cut a forge, cut 2 Wisp Willow amulets, and put in a mana crystal.
Perhaps.
Because you can cast a forge, and you can cast an equipment on yourself. I mean, I guess in my book, the Forcemaster needs 2 pieces of equipment. The Dancing Scimitar and Galvatar. Like, those are the 2 things you need. You don't need anything else.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you there, but fine.
Well, and, the leather is nice, and the regrowth belt is nice. It makes sure that you don't get destroyed by a purge and stuff. But, I mean, I just don't... I don't see you needing 2 forges worth of equipment in a Forcemaster. If some of those had been reciprocal curses, like if there was a Magebane and a Ghoulrot on Enti right now,
right,
that could be serious damage.
It could. They'd be very similar, except then the Forcemaster could also do beatings.
Yeah, I agree. And there you're right. The Wisp Willow gets replaced. Enti finds that pretty funny.
Yep.
Symbiotic Orb.
That's cool and all. However, I do believe that the orb is a waste of mana at this point, because the sorceress is not going to be punching the Forcemaster, and the orb only works versus melee attacks.
Yep, I totally agree with you. And you know what else? He's got 5 enchantments on himself right now. If he used all 22 of that mana, he could have gotten rid of everything with a purge.
Yeah, so that was some mana that could have been. Now, I just think that was that could have been mana that would have been better saved, and a summoning circle.
Yeah, it's got to be a Thought Spore after this.
Okay.
Yeah. He takes 2 Magebane damage to get a Thought Spore out.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a 14 mana Thought Spore.
Yep, and that mana could have been better served getting rid of enchantments.
Yeah, I think a remove curse for. Let's see, what has he got on him? He's got Magebane, Poison Blood, Ghoul Rot. So he could have spent 17 mana and a remove curse to get rid of Ghoul Rot and Poison Blood.
Right.
Looks like he reveals Blur on his Forcemaster. I don't think that was worth the action.
Could have revealed when the sorceress moves.
Yeah, he doesn't need to reveal that now. I suppose if the sorceress was gonna wait, if the Adramelech Warlock was gonna wait on.
Oh, they probably did that during upkeep, though.
No, he didn't.
Or during the first quick cast or deployment steps where they removed because he had initiative and didn't want it disenchanted.
Maybe. I mean, he could have done it next round. He could have kept the Adramelech Warlock guessing what was on him and then done it after deployment in the next round.
Right.
Because, I mean, by revealing Blur, his Thoughtspore can't reach him now. And his Battleforge can't reach him. I completely disagree with this.
Agreed. And Enti's playing it instead of run away, just dropping down the block on the view with the wall. Say, okay, well, you're just going to sit there and die in place.
Yeah, and he didn't want to get force pulled in, so He just blocked the pull.
Yep.
And now he's going to move closer because it's his initiative next turn.
Right.
It makes sense. He probably wants to kill that Thoughtspore. He's probably guessed like we have that there's a Dispel on there.
Yep. Which is too slow at this point.
Yeah, it needed to happen a long time ago.
Yep. I don't think it's going to be enough Dispel action. So one Fireball is going to get rid of that.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a quick cast for him to deal with it either.
No.
You can just Fireball it right now.
Yep.
Man. Yeah. I guess maybe if he doesn't want to spend 8 mana on it. But, I mean, it's 7 dice. It's probably going to kill it.
Yep.
If he has a Hawkeye, it's 8 dice.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Sorceress is going to kill the Thoughtspore on the first quick cast.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we haven't seen too much revealed other than the blur on the Forcemaster, which was a mistake. But the enchantments on there have got to be beneficial in some way, but they're not being revealed.
Right. I wonder if they're armor.
Maybe.
Because armor has not been needed yet.
Correct. Which this much in the game, it's kind of interesting that there hasn't been.
Yeah. Huh.
And you also have to be worried that there's still a hidden enchantment on the Forcemaster from the sorcerer that you have to be concerned. What is that?
Yeah, I suppose that could be a nullify.
That would suck.
It's not likely to be a nullify, though.
No.
Well, I'm trying to think of what other curses it could be. Could be an enfeeble.
Yeah. It's really hard to read. What are curses do we have up there?
We have Magebane, Ghoul Rot, Poison Blood, and Chains of Agony.
There's changing. Those are some good ones.
Yep. Good.
Could
good
be an
curses.
Agony. Theft of Life.
Theft. Oh yeah, for waiting for when poison blood is gotten rid of.
Mm-hmm.
That would do it. Crazy.
Yep.
Crazy, crazy.
Yep. What's the most number of enchantments you've seen on one mage at any point?
There is a game in this tournament where I believe it was Keijin played his druid and had 10 enchantments on his druid. The druid was swinging 9 dice at whatever came close to her.
That's pretty funny.
It was really funny.
I played in a tournament in Fort Wayne, Indiana, where I had 14 enchantments on my Forcemaster.
Wow.
They were not all mine because I was playing versus a Warlock.
Oh man, that's a lot.
Yep. And my buddy Steve thinks that that's part of the genesis for Remove Curse.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It was Arcane Corruption.
Oh, yeah. Arcane Corruption. Yeah.
Yeah,
oh,
because I
man.
had so many beneficial enchantments on me at one point that he thinks that, because this was back before that spell came out, he seems to think that Arcane Corruption came about because of that tournament where I played against, I think it was Roger from Arcane Wonders.
Oh. Is Roger involved in the...
Roger, John. Right.
John Rogers, yeah.
Right.
Does John play Mage Wars?
He did.
Okay.
Yep. Because we played in a tournament up in Fort Wayne.
Nice.
And that was a interesting match.
You know, Arcane Corruption is an interesting spell because warlords can use that instead of Purge Magic.
Yep.
And it's only 4 spellbook points instead of 9.
True.
It doesn't get rid of the buffs.
Right.
But you also have rocks in school, which do the most dice of any attack spell, so maybe damage is the way to go.
The rock was undercosted, in my opinion.
4 for 5 dice?
Yeah. And then what you have after the fact is things that are trying to keep up and use rock as the standard, which I was against. But you have things like Luminous Blast and things of that nature that, well, rock's in play and it's this, so we need to put out things that are equal to that. And it's like, no, rock was the anomaly. You should not be basing things on rock.
Yeah. Would you have done 4 for 4 or 5 for 5 with rock?
Either one is better than what it is. Okay, so we got preparation still going on. So I guess the sorceress is playing her 1 fireball and then debating what to do after that. Only has 10 mana, so no deployments and another enchantment?
It's possible. I mean, I don't know what to enchant at this point.
Probably enchant herself.
Yeah, you could do that. You could do no, you got 2 rings already. Never mind. I was going to say she could do an enchanter ring and then enchant herself and then reveal the Hawkeye and hit the fireball.
Yeah, so if you do reveal a Hawkeye, you don't do... You're going to be down to 1 mana.
Yeah. Which, if you're planning to run away again, is fine.
So you know what? At this point, I'm going to guess it's not even that. It could be a flame blast and something else. Because realistically, I mean, the Forcemaster's at 20 damage.
Yeah.
Who cares if the Thought Spore gets rid of 1 enchantment?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you just...
Could almost ignore the Thought Spore at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's slightly dangerous to ignore the Thought Spore, but the payoff, since the Forcemaster only has 1 armor on. Was I 1 armor?
Yep.
Then some of those hidden enchantments have to be armor.
Right. And everything that the Forcemaster reveals from then on means that the Thought Spore is less likely to cast something.
That's true. I mean, it still only costs 7 to get rid of Poison Blood, so he's got 8 mana to jimmy around with.
Right. That would be the Demonhide Mask, maybe.
Yeah, that would work. Although Piercing's not going to help him against the Thought Spore.
He's not. I'm just thinking if he's going to attack the Forcemaster with the Flame Blast.
Yeah.
Because that's 2 mana on that Forge, right?
Yep.
So you could deploy the Mask and reveal a Hawkeye and do the
Fireball.
quick cast Fireball, and then heck, you can just go punch something.
Or run away, so you don't get Galvatard.
That's true. Though and even if you do run away, you're going to force the Forcemaster into spending a mana on the lure, which is a damage, and moving a zone, which is another damage.
Yep. Yeah, I think at this point, I think you're right. I would Demonhide Mask and Flame Blast the Forcemaster and then run away.
Yep. Double move behind your wall and be happy.
Yep.
Interesting. So the Forcemaster passed quick cast.
Yeah, the Warlock.
Or the Warlock, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I did mean that. Interesting. And over there, you noticed last round that the Sorceress deployed the gloves. So it gets to do rerolls on those.
I think that was this round. Or no, was it last round?
It was last round.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because... Oh, he took the thing off of the...
Yep.
Battleforge. Okay. Oof.
Because it could do double Flame Blast without the Hawkeye.
Yep. Sure could. Now, it really depends on what that is on the Thought Spore.
Yep.
If it's a block or a reverse attack, then he needs to use something unavoidable right now. If it's not, then a Fireball will kill the Thought Spore.
Yep.
Flame Blast. All right, so he's expecting a block
or reverse attack.
Yeah.
So he uses an unavoidable attack on the familiar there, and force a reveal on the enchantment.
It is a reverse attack. Oh,
Yep.
That sucks.
Yep. And that was a misplay too, because you know that the Forcemaster or the Sorceress is going to have unavoidable Flame Blasts. So that was, that was unfortunate. Because it counts as a defense, and therefore unavoidable negates it.
Yep. Looks like he only gets 4 damage on that 6-die attack.
And he burns?
Nope. No burns.
Well, that was helpful then. And since the Sorceress moved, got the forcing the Forcemaster to spend mana or move herself in order to get in range to attack the Sorceress.
Yeah. A double Dispel here would not be a bad plan. Like if he just Dispelled with the Thought Spore and then Dispelled with his own action.
Yep.
You could get rid of Magebane and you could get rid of Poison Blood.
Yep.
Alright, he chooses to get rid of Poison Blood.
Yep.
Which I think is the correct choice. Get rid of that first.
And let's see what the other spell is.
What others? Yeah, I don't know if it's going to cast a spell or not. Enti has enough for a Fire Stream on that Thought Spore right now. If he wanted to. We'll be right back.
And while he's gone, they're sitting there debating and trying to determine. Oh, they decide to end the round. So we're into final quick cast and a reveal of Theft of Life. So that will negate one of the regen belts healing and transfer it to the sorceress. And the Forcemaster guarded, saving some mana and damage by not moving. And it looks like we're into planning. And we have a Puddnhead back. While you're gone, the Forcemaster guarded and a end of round reveal for the Theft of Life from the sorcerer.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So that's stripping in half the value of the regen belt.
Yep, making that dispel less useful.
Right. But better than nothing.
Yep.
Interestingly enough, the sorceress did not use the final quick cast.
Well, with only 4 mana, maybe saving up for something next round?
Yep. At this point, the Forcemaster has 3 enchantments on. Could even dump an Arcane Corruption on him.
It's true. That'd be 3 damage.
3 more damage.
And it would be 12 mana to get rid of.
Yep. So then it's opportunity cost. Do you want to get rid of 1 Ghoul Rod or 1 Arcane Corruption?
Yep.
Because that's all your mana.
Oh, man. Purge is so good.
Yep.
Let this be a lesson to everyone. Purge is so good.
Or remove Curse. It's a similar thing. It's a full action, okay, but it gets rid of all curses.
Well, you got to pay for each one, though.
Well, yeah, but it's like Purge, except it costs more.
You do get 2 mana back afterwards.
Right, so it's a discount there, but you have to spend the total amount of mana, but you can also only remove curses, which means friendly spells aren't going to go away.
That's true. You know, the other thing, if the Adramelech Warlock had flame blasted the Forcemaster, you'd have forced him to either pay for blur or lose blur.
Yep. And that would have had 4 more damage on the Forcemaster, right? Maybe 3. It would have been 3.
Yeah, it would have been 3 damage unless they'd done the mask.
Right.
Of course, there could have been an enchantment reveal.
Right. So that reveal is part of the reason why the sorceress didn't quick cast.
For the revealing of the
Theft of Life.
Theft of Life. Isn't Theft of Life only a 1 reveal?
Yes, but...
And you had the Ring of Curses out.
Oh, well, I guess that's true. So, you're right. Just saving up mana for this round, then.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm going to guess for a Arcane Corruption.
Yeah, Arcane Corruption would do it. 3 enchantments. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Or just killing the Thoughtspore this turn. If you can kill it in the first quick cast, then there's no Dispel coming out.
That's right. You got 12 mana. If you figure 5 for or 4 for a Fire Stream.
Why is there a card on that Battleforge up there? There's a wall in the way.
Misdirection.
There's a wall in the way.
Yeah.
And this is where he can't use the forge in the bottom because he has blur on.
Right. Well, you can't use it on the top one either, even without the wall. Well, I guess you could with the wall gone, but
Yeah.
I'm going to guess that Devil's a little flustered here. Probably not used to being up against a almost exclusive enchantment mage.
Yeah. Yep. I think Enti has done something interesting here because he has basically made a book entirely out of equipment and enchantments.
Right.
So the people that carry all the dissolves and all the dispels still won't make it through the book.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Oh, this is where he asked me a question and I'm not around. I had to get up and deal with something. He's asking about what does slam do, because he's trying to slam the Adramelech Warlock.
Right.
And make sure that they can't kill the Phosphor this turn.
Correct. Yeah, so what it does is incapacitates until they act, and upon acting, it becomes a daze. So it's not a guarantee, but it's a chance to make somebody miss with an attack.
It makes sure that if he gets the slam during the quick cast, though, then there cannot be a quick cast attack spell on the spore.
Correct.
So he'll be able to use the spore before
the
Adramelech Warlock does anything.
Right. Because while you're incapacitated, you can only do quick non-attack spells.
Right. Exactly. So that's the question, and I give basically that answer, and it just takes 5 minutes for me to realize that instead of scrubbing dishes to make my wife happy, I should have been answering questions to make my players happy.
Right.
Although, you can argue that making my wife happy is vastly superior to making two people playing a tournament game happy.
A happy wife, happy life, right?
Yep. It's not that hard to make her happy. I'm just messing around.
Sure. We see an awful lot of buffs on the Forcemaster side to do a bunch of melee attacking, but hasn't really been able to stay in range of the Forcemaster or the Sorceress to lay that damage on her. So, I mean, the Galvatar had one attack on the enemy.
Yep, just one.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you were willing to power through the enchantments and just chase down the Sorceress and keep laying on the attacks, you might have been able to have a chance if you're going to ignore the Wardstone and not bother with dispelling these enchantments. Then you've probably done everything you could to stay on top of the enemy dealing out melee damage.
Yeah, and I think there was... and that's, I think, why I said that Galvatar came out too early. Because Galvatar came out when Devil was 2 spaces away from Enti.
Right.
And Enti could run away and remain far enough... Or maybe... Yeah. Run away and remain far enough away to avoid being hit. So... And there was a... and the wall, I think, messed up his plan.
Sure.
Probably. I think the Summoning Circle Thoughts for was a backup plan.
Right. I think back in the earlier days, people really didn't value walls, but a timely wall line of sight blocker can be really useful and amazing.
Yep.
So I think nowadays people don't undervalue walls as much, especially a quality wall like the Wall of Bones.
Yeah, I think Wall of Bones should have had 10 health, honestly.
Yeah, it's a really amazing wall for a level 1 wall.
Yeah, 10 health or level 2. That's what I think.
And being a skeleton and made out of bones, it can be reassembled.
Yup.
So a wall that can be healed is pretty strong.
Yup. Oh man, Koshate's Necromancer is known for using Wall of Bones to a very good effect.
They're very good.
Yep.
So yeah, timely wall can really mess up an enemy's plans. They're very effective at blocking range attacks and things of that nature. And there's the wand that we were expecting earlier.
Yep, I'm guessing a Flame Blast goes on there.
Yep. An unavoidable attack of some kind, more than likely a Flame Blast.
Yeah, I don't think it should be anything else.
Nope.
It would make no sense to do anything other than Flame Blast.
Yep. And if at some point it did, then you could just take the moment and swap the spell out as a quick cast.
It's true. Or just use your other forge to replace the wand with your second copy.
Right. If you have a second one. Yep.
With double forge, I would imagine
You have doubles.
you have double wand.
Right. And here comes the surging wave.
Probably.
And there's the damage, taking the Forcemaster up to 24.
Force Hammer.
Force Hammer.
Okay.
That's a good one, too.
Oh, that has a slam chance, I suppose.
It does. Not as good as the surging wave, but...
No, definitely not as good.
Yeah.
It gets the slam, I think. Is that the slam?
And a fair amount of critical damage.
Why does he roll 8 dice?
Was there a Hawkeye?
Oh, no. He should have rolled
6 dice.
He should have rolled 6 dice.
Yep.
Interesting. Wonder if they figure that out.
We'll find out here in a moment. That's interesting because it should have autoed 6 dice.
It should have. You're absolutely right. Unless the Adramelech Warlock counts as a corporeal conjuration at this point.
Ah. And here comes Chains of Agony damage.
Yep. I totally would have used the Thought Spore.
Mm-hmm.
Although with only 6 health left, maybe not. He's gonna attack another enchantment on himself? Oh, he's gonna heal. Okay.
So he took 1 damage out of that 5 die of healing. Is going to be -1.
Oh, yuck.
Was that 3?
That's 3. So the Chains of Agony and the Mage Bane made it so that he only healed 1.
Right.
I don't know if he's actually taken his...
Mage Bane.
Yeah. Because he was at 26, right?
And he was at 24.
Okay, so it's all right. It's all correct.
Yeah. And there's the Hawkeye, and...
What did he do?
He enchanted himself, and then attacked that spore.
And that's a dead spore.
Right. Did not reveal an enchantment. Interesting. So is that a Flame Blast over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Thought spores are hard to keep alive. There's different ways to do them, but it really depends on how many you have in your book as to how you protect them.
Yeah, the fact that you have to waste an entire action on casting a Thought Spore really stinks.
Well, the thing is, if you're facing a Warlock as a Forcemaster, your first cast could be the Thought Spore, just so you get it in play.
Yeah, Dispel Spore.
Yep, because you know they're going to be running some vile, evil enchantments. Do you know any warlocks that don't?
Nope.
Exactly.
I mean, if they don't, then they're wasting an entire section of their class card.
Right. So they're going to have at least a few, and they're going to be casting on you. So it's just a question of when.
It's like priests that don't have a Holy Avenger, or priestesses that never restore anything.
Right. So the thing is, then you force the Forcemaster or the sorceress to deal with your spore or power through it by overloading you. But you could just easily have the remove curse on the Thought Spore too.
Yeah, Remove Curse can't be cast through Mind's Eye, so I'd probably not use Remove Curse.
Right. It was just a thing, and it's a full action, so the Thought Spore can't be moving.
Right.
So,
But if it's going to be staying in the corner anyway.
Right.
The other thing that would have helped him out there, actually, is lesser invisibility. That would have kept that spore alive for 2 rounds.
Right. That's a promo, though, right?
Nope. It came out in Forcemaster Academy.
Did it?
Yep.
Why don't I remember this?
I don't know.
I don't know either, because I should.
Because you suck. You're a crusty wizard.
I suck? No, I helped work on that set, sir. I helped develop it all, and I just didn't remember Lesser Invisible being released.
It's fine.
Is that the way we're going to be? I thought we were friends. I thought we were friends.
We are friends. I'm just giving you, smack talking you a little bit.
Okay. Yep, right
because your wizard is scary and I don't like it.
I haven't played a wizard in a while. No, I guess I have, but I mean nothing serious. I haven't played one in a tournament, that's for sure.
You played one last Gen Con, didn't you?
Wizard? No, I played a paladin.
Oh, was that Origins? No, it was 2 Gen Cons ago. 2 Gen Cons ago, you played Wizard.
Yeah, and I played it badly.
And yeah, that's why I beat you, because you played badly.
2016, yep. I was not prepared. I was mentally drained because I didn't get any sleep. I was not good competition for anybody that year.
Yeah, it happens. It totally happens.
Yep.
All right, looks like we had a bit of a lag spike for Devil there. We're back in the game here.
Good deal.
And,
it seems like we've done nothing but dog on Devil here, and should not be the case. But you're seeing an example of, I guess, what not to do when you get loaded up with enchantments. And in the book building stage, if you can allow this to happen to you, then you've almost lost in the deck building stage. And if you put things in your book to deal with this, then you should figure out how to get them in play during the game.
Yep. And I think that it's hard to know what the Adramelech Warlock is going to do. You don't really see very many Adramelech Warlocks just do the curse game, right?
You sure don't.
You mostly see them sling fireballs.
Mm-hmm.
And have a couple of big creatures around, maybe.
And some amount of curses, maybe not this many.
Right. I still think that playing a sport early with Dispel on it is a good move.
Yep.
However, another good move might have been to put out an Invisible Stalker or some other large hitting creature, depending on what you have.
Right. Even some force creatures to nickel and dime it.
Yep, and he could have sent the force creatures at any point after the forges or the ward stone.
Mm-hmm.
You could get that scarab out there to do all critical damage to the ward stone.
Mm-hmm.
It all depends on what you have in your book, right? I mean,
right.
Clearly he's planning on tangling with a bunch of creatures because he's got Symbiotic Orb, he's got Dancing Scimitar. I'm sure he's got armor on right now.
Right. So he's expecting to do a bunch of melee. Unfortunately, hasn't been able to take advantage of the Forcemaster's natural tactics and maneuverability to keep melee against the opponent.
Yeah. And this is a great positioning game for Enti. He did a great job of staying out of reach,
Right.
making sure that it would cost dearly to get one hit off on him.
Right.
And the Chains of Agony, the Mage Bane, like all that stuff makes it so that what the Forcemaster usually does to deal with you hurts.
Right. Now, it would have been interesting to see, had some of these curses been removed earlier in the game, how it could have turned out. I would expect that since it's so loaded up on curses that it would have just been replacing them as they got rid of them. But it would have been an interesting game at that point to see how Enti would have been able to, reclaim the initiative. But he never had to bother with that because they never went away. So it's an interesting school for people who like dark mages to see how to load up an opponent and do the positioning game and stay out of reach of the opponent while the curses do their nastiness. But at the same time, had those curses been removed, then how does the sorceress recover from that in that instance? Because it should be like a teeter-totter thing. Okay, I've loaded you up with curses. Okay, I get rid of them. Okay, then we're back to square one with some amount of damage differential, and then you go from there.
Right. And I think he mitigates the fact that he's doing curses by loading up on armor, right? I have no doubt that he's got a regrowth belt in there. He just hasn't felt the need to play it yet.
Right.
And or a vet belt and a regrowth enchantment, right? I mean, that could be a regrowth on him right now. And that can keep you alive while your curses do the damage.
Sure. Well, the thing about a Forcemaster is you only need potentially a couple rounds to lay on a huge amount of damage on.
Yeah, but a vet belt will mitigate it, and if you can stay away long enough and only get hit once or twice, your regen can take care of that.
Sure.
Right, because the Forcemaster doesn't have a ton of actions to get rid of your stuff.
Right. It's been an interesting game where you've seen almost no creatures out of either side.
Yeah, that's true. One Thought Spore, that's it.
Yep.
1 14 mana Thought Spore.
Yep. Yeah, because that 14 mana plus the 7 for the Dispel could have been a remove curse to get rid of multiple things.
It sure could have.
Yep.
Well, it's at 21 mana. That would have gotten rid of Ghoul Rot and Poison Blood. And that's it. But still.
And, also had mana left over. Probably could have got rid of the Mage Bane too.
Oh yeah, that's true. He probably could have gotten rid of all three of them with a remove curse, instead of spending 2 actions to take 2 damage to get 1 Thought Spore out.
Yeah.
Or even remove the Chains of Agony. I mean, if you didn't have quite enough mana, you could remove the Chains of Agony.
And then moved around and try to recover.
Yep. So I don't even know if he had Remove Curse in his book. It doesn't seem likely that he had Remove Curse. It certainly doesn't seem likely that he had Purge. But the fact that there's a Wordstone out there, he might have both and just not feel like he has enough mana to use them.
Right. In which case, recommendation for folks in the future is that if you see this happening to yourself, try to save up the mana in order to make this stuff go away.
Yeah, I remember a game, I think last ADMW, where Sharkbait was running a curse book, and I think it was Were Kingdom? I think it was Were Kingdom that got one huge remove curse off, and that just turned it around.
Yep.
I could be wrong on that. Shark will correct me if it wasn't Were Kingdom. But yeah, it's amazing what kind of turnaround you can have with Remove Curse and with Purge Magic, which is why people are saying that Curse Warlocks are not as effective as they used to be. You still have that Wardstone play, you still have the fact that curses are generally fairly cheap. And you could get Mageddon out, for instance, for 6 mana, and then play the curse game, and save up enough mana to get a Skeletal Knight or a Zombie Brute out, because Zombie Brute is undercosted, and have guards and things that can do auxiliary damage to creatures that are attacking you. You know, there's ways that you can weave it around, but yeah. All right, so he moves up and Tangle Vines to keep that Forcemaster away from him.
Yep, and you saw, while you were talking, a flame blast happened, and a force field was revealed.
Ah, force field. Okay. So now Enti's like, okay, well, I guess I just gotta wait for you to tick to death.
Yep.
Right.
20, what is it, 28 here? Is that 25?
All right, he's gonna double strike the Tanglevine.
Yep.
Which should be 5 dice and then 4 dice.
And then also have this Scimitar as a possibility.
Yeah, it should be dead.
Yep.
Tanglevine should only stop a Forcemaster for 1 round, pretty much.
Yep.
I actually had a game where I was playing an Araxian Crown Warlock, and I one-shot a Tanglevine with the Lash.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I was playing against somebody the other day. I was running a Warlock and was one-shotting Thorn Lashers.
Wow. Nice. With a Lash?
Yep.
All right, so he gets it, not in the order we thought it would happen, but he does get it. You know what the jerkiest move I've seen so far is in this tournament?
Mm-mm.
The Druid using Meridia's Blessing on a Tanglevine.
Yep. I've often wondered about that, even on a Stranglevine.
Yeah, or you could do it on a Stranglevine too. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be really mean.
Most people teleport out of it anyway, but
yeah.
He does 1 damage to the Battleforge with the Scimitar.
Yeah, it was a free attack. Might as well.
Makes sense.
Yep. Unfortunately, for the mana spent on the Scimitar, hasn't gotten the value for it with all that upkeeping. Has not been able to been used much because of the superior movement from the Sorceress.
Yep. Enti has done an excellent job of avoiding damage.
Yep.
I think that's very important to note. Anybody who's watching this game, it is not Devil messing up. It is Enti playing well.
Exactly.
And it is also...
I mean, Devil's been trying. It's just been rough.
Yeah.
I would say that the Blur is probably a mistake in this book with the Double Forge.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Blur might be for the Thoughtspore.
Could be.
And I think when I saw Blur get revealed, I was kind of expecting one of those enchantments to be Enchantment Transfusion, because you could transfuse it to the Thoughtspore to avoid an attack, which is ridiculous.
Yep.
Because you're not allowed to reveal it during an attack sequence, but you could transfer it during an attack sequence.
Sure.
Because Enchantment Transfusion is broken.
Yeah. That happened before I got into the playtest group, too.
It just seems like the most overpowered and ridiculous card. It not necessarily overpowered, but the one that causes the most rules headaches.
Yep.
Is Enchantment Transfusion.
Yep. I don't particularly care for the card because of things like that. It's interesting in a lot of ways where you can do some cool stuff, but it just reminds me too much of blue in Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
And we had a rule. Whoever's playing blue, kill them first.
Because everybody hates not being able to play the game.
Right. I mean, it's one of those things where I don't have any strategy other than dick with you.
Right. Well, and I kind of feel that curses are that way, honestly.
Well, but they're thematic here, though. I mean,
I understand.
The curse strategy is an interesting one. It's just this slow, agonizing death where you watch your guy melt. And it's like, well, this is no good.
Yeah, just not fun.
No,
it's not fun at all.
Yeah. So I'd rather be beating your face, but I can't because I can't move.
Yeah, the other thing that you can do against remove curse is you can plan enchantment transfusion.
Sure.
So you can play an enchantment transfusion on the enemy mage.
Yep.
And then when they try and purge or remove curse, you can transfer them over to something that you have, and then you can transfer them back the next turn.
Yep.
So
it's an awful lot of work, but yeah.
It's a lot of work. It takes a lot of mana.
And a lot of setup.
But it avoids losing all those actions.
Right.
So it looks like we have a Witchwood Ironvine coming out. So that is 5 armor and regen 1.
Yep.
And Theft of Life is not actually regen. It is healing. Right. So it stacks.
Right. And that was probably close to free.
Yeah, I don't remember how much mana was on that.
And here
2 mana.
Corruption.
Arcane Corruption? You think
I'm
so?
thinking so.
Yeah.
Because it's what? Is that 28 damage?
Yep. And he's got 3 enchantments on. So yeah.
Or it's another poison blood.
Not with Theft of Life, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Lesser Teleport, huh? Oh, he's going to Lesser Teleport and Double Strike.
Yep, there comes the Mage Bane damage.
Yep. I mean, at this point, why not? Oh, he can't pull her because of Eagle Club Boots. Right. So he has to Lesser Teleport.
Yep.
We have a problem over here. Enti has 2 pairs of boots on.
He does. The leather boots have to go back into the book.
Yeah, they do. Unfortunately, this is a pre-recorded game, so I can't fix it.
Nope.
But I don't think it's going to matter.
No.
I mean, even if he only had 4 armor against this attack, yeah.
So I think the play here from the Forcemaster would have been when you're facing the Warlock on the other side of the, then
they figure it out.
Bring out the early thought spores so that you have your dispel in place, and you force the Warlock to have to deal with that in some fashion. So it's going to take away actions that might be directed at your mage against the thought spore.
Yep. And hopefully you've got enough wherewithal to be in the way and and punish them for coming too close.
And pull them away from the thought spore or what have you. So one of those forges could have been a thought spore.
Yep, I totally agree. Totally agree.
And that alone would have changed the dynamic of this game in and of itself. Turn 1.
Yep, I absolutely agree. Because you see that forge down at the bottom, both forges have 4 mana on them.
Yep.
And part of that is blur, and part of that is the wall. But still, that is 8 mana you have not used.
Right.
So you might as well have not cast one of those forges, in my opinion.
Exactly.
And a thought spore, like the actions that he needed was not more armor actions. The actions he needed was dispel actions.
Right. And so while he's up there beating on the sorceress, the thought spore could be doing a dispel for one of the actions and breaking even on mana consumption.
Yep, and you wouldn't even have to worry about the wardstone because you're attacking.
Right. So you eat the extra 2 mana and just roll with it.
Now, he does get Enti up to 18 damage here, so this game could have gone a different way, for sure.
Which is what I was saying earlier. You got to watch, because the Forcemaster in 2 rounds can lay out an awful lot of damage. And if the Enti wasn't prepared for that kind of amount of damage, then the Forcemaster could have made this a quick match really fast, turning it around. Which is part of the reason why Enti's been running away so much. but the blur forced Enti to get closer.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. So, that might be worth it. Who knows? Maybe it was a good play. But it's overshadowed by the fact that he still has so much damage on him from curses. Like, there was not a single fire spell thrown at this Forcemaster.
Right.
Not a single one. All of this damage is curse damage.
Yep.
That is insane.
Yep. Shows you how effective curses can be.
Yep.
And there it is.
Arcane corruption.
The previous one was probably another poison blow, but.
Yep. And there it is. The GG. And of course he goes to -6, -7 because -6 because of the fact that Octagon automates upkeep and channeling. So if you wanted to reveal something after channeling but before upkeep, you have to do it the round before.
Okay.
So that is a legal play on Octagon. Normally you'd have to wait until channeling happens, but because it's all automated,
right,
it's fine.
Yep. Wow, that was an interesting match where the essentially all curse damage.
Yep, that was 34 curse damage. More than that because there was a regrowth a couple turns.
And see, had the Forcemaster done some melee attacking, that would have been one less spell being cast per round, and that's one less Mage Bane damage each round.
That's true. And you see, Enti is at 20 out of 33 health right now.
Yep.
So it was a dangerously close game.
Yep. So a few things here or there different. Could have been a very different match. Yep. So so the Forcemaster could have laid out another large amount of damage very quickly.
Yep.
With the Galvatar and some buffs.
It makes me wonder if the Forcemaster had pulled that turn before the wall went down, if things would have gone differently.
Perhaps.
Because the Forcemaster had initiative.
Right.
So if there had been a pull, and then the Warlock either would have used a teleport to get away instead of a wall, or wouldn't have been able to get away.
But that's the round that he was focused on casting the Thought Spore with the circle.
Right. So, I mean, maybe that was a main plan, but if the main plan had still been hit the mage as hard as possible,
it would have been potentially a closer game even, because the one thing he was needing to do the entire game was continue melee attacking, and only did it, 2 or 3 times, and there's 20 damage on the mage.
Yeah, I think he got 3 attacks in. He got a Force Hammer in that rolled too many dice.
Yep. So there's at least 2 damage to 3 damage extra that could have been saved off of that. So dropped down to 17.
Yeah, that's not that close to death, but
right. It's half health.
Yeah. Well, anyway, guys, thanks for joining me, Zot, and thanks for watching, everybody. This has been ADMW2, signing off.
Bye, everybody.